He's ahead of the field.
McDermott steps up. Now he's going to run it. And he's on the run. McDermott first down, breaking tackles inside the 5. McDermott lunges. Touchdown. Touchdown, New Rochelle. Geoff McDermott.
Wow. Hey, if you're going to drive 8 hours round trip to watch a two and a half hour football game, it better make you say wow. And if they played again the next day, I would have done it all over again. Hey, everybody, and thanks for hanging with us once again on Max Preps High School Weekly. I'm Mike Quick. New Rochelle and Christian Brothers. Boy, let's get right back to the Carrier Dome for our Max Preps Tri-State Area High School Football Game of the Week, where our number 3 New Rochelle team, winners of 23 consecutive games, took on unbeaten Christian Brothers Academy from Syracuse, who in 12 wins had scored no fewer than 39 points in any game. New Rose D had allowed just 32 total points. That's why this was the most anticipated game in the history of the New York State playoff.
We're going to run to the ball and hit. We're going to run to the ball and hit. We're going to run to the ball and hit until we break their will. And at the end of 48 minutes, we'll be back to back. Go out with a smile on your face. Seize the moment. Seize the moment.
And it didn't take long for Coach DiRienzo's boys to go to work. Quarterback Geoff McDermott, 29 yards to Fred Campbell on their first series of the game, part of a 10-play, 65-yard march that ended on Ray Rice's 1-yard touchdown, 7-0 New Rowe. It didn't take long for the great Greg Paulus to answer. 8 yards on a perfectly thrown ball to Bruce Willams, 7-7 after 1. Second quarter, the Huguenots doing their thing. The Syracuse-bound Rice, 19 tough yards that helped set up McDermott. The 6'6" senior quarterback was terrific on the carpet up at the Carrier Dome. 27 pinball yards on the way to the end zone. The point after was no good. 13-7 New Rochelle. 2 minutes later, the brothers take the lead. Brian Boyko, 4 yards, untouched up the chute. PAT good, 14-13. 3:44 left in the half. Paulus, who was 23 of 29, made his only mistake. Good-looking Glenroy Lee with the interception. So New Rowe would set up shop on their own one. A 10-play, 99-yard drive would ensue. The big play, McDermott, 60 yards to Justin Johnson. And 4 plays later, Rice would get his second short touchdown. The 2-point try was good, and our number 3 team had a 21-14 lead at the break.
No lead was safe enough, even when we went up 28-14. With that offense, you know, we really had no answers defensively. We tried playing man, we tried playing zone, we tried stunting. We couldn't slow them down.
CBA couldn't slow down Rice early in the second half. The tough guy, third touchdown, bulldogging his way in 115 yards and a 28-14 New Rowe lead. It's now 28-21 late in the third, New Rochelle driving. McDermott looking for Rice. Lavar Lobdell separates him from the ball, and the season was over. Broken collarbone for Rice.
It was hard. I mean, I just felt like I let my teammates down, but they understand, you know, but they responded well. They played like they never played before. I mean, they almost pulled it out. I mean, a little bit more miracle. We could have did this thing, but they're a great team.
The magical Paulus didn't take long to inject more pain. The All-American found Lobdell on the street route. 58 yards down the sideline, and 4 plays later, the Duke-bound basketball player would tie things up. On a 4th and 11, he finds a wide-open Williams, 28-28 with 23 seconds left in the third. First play, fourth quarter, New Rowe takes the lead.
28 as we start the fourth quarter. McDermott going long. Davis has it. Greg Davis is going to score a touchdown.
Paulus, who threw for a state playoff record 371, needed less than 2 minutes to answer.
Paulus to the end zone. Williams. Yes, CBA.
5:39 left. It was a heck of a throw. 5:39 left. 4th and 1 from midfield. Justin McGee would come up short, and CBA would make them pay. They get the ball back, and Paulus on a 3rd and 24 finds guess who? Williams for a 23-yard gain. And after a first down on the next play, that was followed by this.
Here's Lobdell on the end around. And if he gets the ball, look out. Lobdell, touchdown, CBA.
So with 2:40 left in the game, McDermott and the boys would get the ball back with one last chance. But Williams' interception with 1:34 left snapped New Rose dreams of a consecutive title.
It's hard. We won 23 straight. We haven't felt this in almost 2 years. It's just a tough loss.
23 in a row, just an unbelievable run.
It's a credit to these kids and the way they're willing to work. And that's what I think this program's all about, and we'll continue to keep moving.
And there it is. Greg Paulus and the CBA brothers are state champions.
Well, I've seen this guy play basketball before, and I know he's verbally committed to Duke, but Greg Paulus, as a football fan, first of all, congratulations. You're the Max Preps High School MVP.
Thank you very much.
And as a football fan, man, I hope this wasn't your last high school football game, but if it was, boy, you went out on a high note.
It was unbelievable. You know, when you have two great teams competing all year and everyone expects you to be playing in the state championship, you can't ask for anything better than that. So, you know, going out as a senior on top with your best friends and your family, you can't beat it.
Well, Jimmy Cavallo, if that was the last high school football game Greg Paulus ever plays, then consider ourselves two lucky guys, because you wouldn't want to miss that if you're a football fan.
I mean, one of the things when they do the recruiting charts and they say what your good characteristics are, there's no thing that says a gamer. This guy was one of the great gamers we ever seen. He had a competitive spirit. I mean, throw in all the talent, throw the no huddle, throw everything coming out of the shotgun, throw looking off receivers, great touch on the football. Joey Harrington looked like Jake the Snake Plummer. That's the kind of quarterback he is. But this guy was just a gamer. He was into, he dictated everything. The people in New Rochelle, the 5,000 strong that went there to see the game, they knew very early they had going to have their hands full for 48 minutes with Greg Paulus.
Hey, if that's Paulus's last football game, that would be a shame. And if it was Geoff McDermott's last football game, that would be a shame. He, too, wants to go the basketball route, a 6'6" point guard who I think has a major college tight end body, and I would love to see him play college football.
Yeah, what are the college recruiters? They call the coach, they send me a couple films. You only need one film for Geoff McDermott. You need the film of Saturday afternoon in Syracuse, because Geoff McDermott was forced into a competitive environment he hadn't been in the whole year. Let's face it, he was quarterbacking a team the entire season that was up 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. In this game, he had to do things on the football field, and he pulled through every time.
He was terrific, and give New Rochelle and Coach DiRienzo a lot of credit. Ray Rice was their one-man show. He didn't play the final 15 minutes of his high school football career, but the purple and white never stopped. Rice in that game, the final 15. Do they win it?
I think they do. Worst image we've seen the whole year was Ray Rice with his pads off at the start of the fourth quarter. This is all you need to know. Game tied at 35, 5 or 6 minutes to go. 4th and 1 for New Rochelle. Lou DiRienzo says, let's go for it. Great move on his part. They don't get it. I think you stick the ball in the gut of number 5 right there. They get the first down. They take the title home.
Keep them at 3 or drop them a spot or 2.
You got to keep them right where they are. They played against an absolute all-star in Greg Paulus, a guy, as the years go on, they'll be able to accept this loss when they watch what Greg Paulus does with his athletic career. Keep him at 3.
Jimmy, I couldn't keep him at 3 because of the shirt you were wearing. It made me sick. My man Bergen at 1, Bosco at 2, Joe's and New Rochelle flip-flop. That is nothing against New Rochelle, because that team, Christian Brothers, would be in the top 10 as well if they were in our 100-mile pole radius. Ridgewood, Middletown South, St. Anthony's, Piscataway, and St. Peter's Prep. Max Preps, remember, coaches, you can click on, get your password. Basketball coaches, it's your time now. Start getting your info into Max Preps. It's not